You ever get that feeling that everything can change before the first whistle even blows? I'm Ethan Carter, a diehard fan and passionate analyst, and what we're tackling today is heavy, a shocking choice for who's wearing the captain's patch, an injury report that brings both relief and a whole lot of pain, backroom talks about million-dollar figures that could redefine the future of our defense, and a lightning-fast rookie threatening the offense's hierarchy. These are all clear signs that 2025 won't be just another season. But are we looking at real progress, or is it all just smoke and mirrors? All right, my fellow Seattle Seahawks fan, before we dive into the details this Saturday with the latest on our team, let me ask you for a quick favor. Check right now to see if you're already subscribed to the channel. If you're not, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos and can stick with our community. That support makes all the difference. The Seattle Seahawks just announced the captains for Week 1, and man, this decision is already messing with the team's confidence and game plan. Sam Darnold, the new QB in town, is going to lead the offense in his very first official game for the team, a move that's splitting opinions right down the middle between fans and analysts. On defense, Leonard Williams gets the patch, bringing some much-needed power and experience to a unit that needs to be solid from the first snap. And then you've got fullback Brady Russell rounding out the trio, a less flashy player, sure, but one who represents the kind of grit and discipline you need to hold a team together. Coach Mike Macdonald is sticking with his tradition of rotating captains weekly, a philosophy he started last season to test leadership in different situations and build that team-first spirit. But making Darnold a captain in his debut, that's a calculated risk. He's going to have to show insane emotional control, quick decision-making, and the ability to inspire guys who've been bleeding blue and green for years. The impact of this trio goes way beyond just being symbolic. Every single play, every offensive and defensive call will be under a microscope of leadership. Historically, we've seen young guys step up into huge roles and completely turn seasons around for the Seahawks, but we've also been burned by premature bets that just didn't pan out. The emotional factor is massive. The veteran fan base immediately connects with this whole renewal story, but we also carry the scars of past failures. Every captain choice sends a clear message about the team's direction. Is it boldness, confidence, discipline, or just potential? A technical breakdown shows that on offense, Darnold needs to be pinpoint accurate with his throws and reads, while Williams has to anchor that defensive line against aggressive attacks, and Russell must deliver those crucial blocks and strategic support. This blend of leadership and execution is about to get a baptism by fire in the season opener. And as we get ready to see these captains in action, the unavoidable question pops up. Is the leadership they've chosen going to be enough to overcome the challenges of the first game? Or are the absences and physical limitations on this roster going to force some unexpected, last-minute solutions come Sunday? The Seattle Seahawks injury report for the season opener is giving us some mixed signals, a little bit of good news, and a whole lot to be seriously worried about. 3 key players are officially out of the game. Outside linebacker Uchenna Nwosu with that knee issue, and wide receivers Dereki Young and Jake Bobo, who are dealing with a hamstring injury and a concussion, respectively. The coaching staff has had to scramble, adjusting strategies, moving guys around, and pretty much reinventing the game plan for the week. Among those who practiced with limitations are right guard Anthony Bradford, who missed some time with back pain, cornerback Rick Woolen, who was out one day with an illness, and the rookie receiver Torrey Horton, who's coming back from an ankle injury but thankfully managed to practice fully this week. Coach Mike Macdonald pointed out that Nwosu, even though he's out for the opener, is ahead of schedule, but just isn't ready for game action yet. Meanwhile, Bobo is still stuck in the concussion protocol, and the hope is that Young will be fully recovered by next week. On the other side of the ball, our rival, the San Francisco 49ers, have their own mess to deal with. Running back Christian McCaffrey is listed as questionable with a calf problem, while Jordan James and Jordan Watkins are doubtful with finger and ankle injuries. The direct impact of our own absences forces the Seahawks to adapt on every single play, making every snap absolutely critical, especially in a division showdown this intense. But there are also opportunities here. The pressure on the backups could reveal new leaders and strengthen the group's chemistry. not to mention test the roster's resilience. For us veteran fans, you can feel that mix of anxiety and hope. Are Bradford, Woolen, and Horton going to step up? Or will the absence of Nwosu, Young, and Bobo cost us right out of the gate? The tactical read on this situation isn't just about the opener. It's about seeing how this team will handle adversity all season long. And while we're chewing on these roster gaps, an unavoidable tension is building behind the scenes. Contracts and extension decisions could directly impact the team's morale. Because when the dust settles on these injuries, another kind of pressure is waiting in the wings, and it could be just as decisive as any play on the field. This is surprising, and the financial impact could be huge. The Seattle Seahawks star cornerback, Rick Woolen, is about to sign a contract extension that could completely reshape the team's defensive structure. Estimates are floating around an annual value between $23 and $30 million, which would put him right up there with the highest paid cornerbacks in the entire league. The team recently re-signed right tackle Abe Lucas to a 3-year, $15 million a year deal. A smart, strategic move to stabilize the offensive line, but it also signals that the very next priority is locking down key defensive players in Seattle. Woolen is heading into the final year of his rookie contract, and the timing of this extension is critical. Waiting could mean risking losing him in free agency, but jumping the gun could mean paying top dollar without seeing total consistency on the field yet. Analysts suggest that splitting the difference on those estimates would land him around $26 million a year, putting Woolen just behind guys like Gardner, Stingley, and Horn, but still firmly in the top tier at his position. The front office's decision here involves tactical analysis, performance projections, and financial management. Every move has to balance on-field impact with the budget. We veteran fans get how important this is. Keeping Woolen means preserving our defensive identity and signaling real ambition for the season, but it also cranks up the pressure on him to live up to that investment. Defensive schemes, backfield formations, and pass coverage will all be directly affected by Woolen's commitment and the trust the team places in him. On top of that, this extension could influence future negotiations with other key players, creating a domino effect across the roster. This decision is about more than just numbers. It's about identity, about sending a clear message to the young talent and the fan base that this organization values its cornerstones and wants to compete at the highest level. But there's an inherent tension here. If Woolen doesn't meet those sky-high expectations, the financial cost and the emotional impact on the locker room could be massive. And while we're trying to wrap our heads around the size of that extension, a young rookie has already started building his own hype in parallel, bringing speed, talent, and the potential to change the whole dynamic on offense. But can he actually fill the gaps and create his own highlight reel? A quiet explosion. That's what's happening with rookie Torrey Horton, and he's turning heads before he's even finished his first official week. Picked in the 5th round of the 2025 draft, he's quickly becoming a guy who could make a real impact on the Seattle Seahawks offense. John Schneider nailed it by picking Horton, who many see as a true steal after he fell in the draft. His physical gifts and raw speed have been impossible to ignore since training camp started. The receiver can't just play multiple roles. He's already allowed the team to cut a veteran free agent, proving that confidence and performance can go hand in hand. Horton has traits that remind you of a young Tyler Lockett, the ability to be a punt returner, a real presence in the passing game, and an explosiveness that gives opposing cornerbacks nightmares. Standing at 6'3" and weighing 195 pounds, he combines a 4.41 40-yard dash speed with enough size to go up against experienced defenders, making him a valuable weapon in critical situations. During the preseason, Horton fully recovered from that ankle injury, making sure he came into the opener ready to contribute at 100%. The expectation is that he'll become the team's 3rd receiver behind the established names, but with the potential to become a frequent target for Darnold this season. A tactical breakdown shows his presence creates multiple options for the offense, forces the opposing defense to adjust, and gives the offensive coordinator a lot more creative freedom with the playbook. Emotionally, For us veteran fans, there's a real excitement in watching a new talent emerge who could become a household name, bringing back memories of the boom era and the players who defined an entire generation in Seattle. Horton's immediate impact is clear. Speed, versatility, and a physical presence on the field can define drives, disrupt defensive schemes, and create scoring opportunities that make all the difference in the final score. But the big question remains: can he stay consistent throughout the season, handle the pressure of being an NFL rookie, and meet the high expectations of this experienced roster? Because if Horton lives up to his potential, he doesn't just change the offense. He also sets the stage for future strategic decisions and for the development of new leaders on this team. What we're seeing isn't just football, man. It's a test of courage and vision. Captains taking risks, injuries forcing immediate adjustments, million-dollar contracts putting pressure on the locker room, and a speedy rookie ready to shake up the entire offense, all happening at once. The Seattle Seahawks feel like they're walking a tightrope between glory and frustration. Are we seeing real evolution here, or just a bunch of last-minute fixes under pressure? Every decision is a warning. Every play is a test. And I have to ask you, the veteran fan who's seen it all, do you really believe this team has what it takes to turn all this potential into actual wins this season?